I never thought I would return to my childhood village under such somber circumstances. The air was thick with grief as I stepped off the bus, the familiar sights of my hometown now cloaked in a veil of sorrow. My mother had passed away, leaving me to navigate the tangled web of memories and emotions that came rushing back. As I walked through the narrow streets, I felt the weight of my family's history pressing down on me. My mother had always spoken of our ancestors with a mix of reverence and fear, warning me about the dark legacy that loomed over us. She often mentioned the legend of Sewu Dino, which meant 1,000 days. It was said that a powerful spirit haunted our village, seeking vengeance for the wrongs of the past. I had dismissed these tales as mere superstition, but now they echoed in my mind like a haunting refrain. After the funeral, I found myself drawn to the old family home, a place filled with shadows and whispers. As I rummaged through my mother's belongings, I stumbled upon an old journal. Its pages were yellowed with age, filled with my mother's elegant handwriting. She wrote about the curse that had plagued our family for generations, detailing the spirit's wrath and the suffering it had caused. I felt a chill run down my spine as I read her words, realizing that our family was intertwined with this dark legacy. Determined to uncover the truth, I sought out the village elders. They were reluctant to speak, their eyes filled with fear as they recounted the stories of those who had crossed the spirit. They warned me to stay away from certain places, to respect the dead, and to heed the whispers of the past. But I was driven by a need to understand, to find closure for my mother's death and my own restless heart. It was during one of my explorations that I met Jake, a local man with a kind smile and an air of mystery. He had heard of my family's plight and offered to help me navigate the village's dark history. Together, we ventured into the heart of the woods, where the spirit was said to dwell. The deeper we went, the more I felt the air grow heavy, as if the very ground beneath us was alive with unseen forces. As night fell, we found ourselves at the edge of an ancient graveyard, the moon casting eerie shadows on the weathered stones. I felt a pull, an inexplicable urge to step closer. It was there that I began to see things, shadows flitting at the corners of my vision, whispers that seemed to call my name. Fear gripped me, but I pressed on, driven by a mix of curiosity and defiance. In a moment of reckless bravery, I called out to the spirit, challenging the very essence of my beliefs. "Show yourself," I shouted, my voice trembling in the stillness. The air crackled with energy, and suddenly, I was surrounded by a cacophony of anguished cries. The graveyard came alive with the echoes of tormented souls, their pain palpable in the night. In that moment, my skepticism shattered. I realized that the tales my mother had told were not mere stories. They were warnings. The weight of my disbelief crushed me as I understood the consequences of my actions. I had ventured too far into a realm I was never meant to challenge. As I stumbled back, gasping for breath, I felt the whispers of the grave follow me, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the veil of life. I had sought to disprove a belief, but in doing so, I had awakened something far more terrifying than I could have ever imagined. Now, as I stand at my mother's grave, I carry the knowledge that some truths are better left undiscovered. The fear I once dismissed clings to me like a shadow, a reminder of the price of curiosity and the weight of the sins we carry. I had come seeking answers, but what I found was a haunting legacy that would forever change my understanding of love, loss, and the ties that bind us to the past.